During the recent rash of storms across the United States, all the radar systems went down. That was super highly suspicious. We're going to talk about that. Maryland also increasing its taxes by record amounts. Who would have guessed that with the issue with the bridge? We also have Lowe's barricading their stores for Easter weekend, or, excuse me, Transgender Visibility Day. An EMT shares something about will probably infuriate you about what's going on with the homeless as well as the others who are visiting us, plus many more reports. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. These are information updates that you guys are sending in. If you have something that you need to share with the group, please do just reply back to any one of the videos on this channel, make a comment, and just use the word update somewhere in that comment. That gets it to the right place. Thanks so much for all that you do participating in this group. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement accounts that you want to get into something stable like gold, silver, or platinum, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team. They do a fantastic job. There'll be a link at the end of the video. Lewis says this morning, and this is going back to April 2nd, around 1 a.m. CST, we had a nationwide outage of the radars from the National Weather Service, right in the middle of very severe storms with tornado watches in both Oklahoma and Missouri. You guys probably remember that storm front that just came through and just devastating, right? And the fact that they had the National Weather Service's radars all go offline makes you start asking questions. Was it a computer hack? Was it a software glitch? We keep having these software glitches more and more. The more our technology has progressed, the more software glitches we seem to have. And it seems like the more serious the glitches we've been having recently. We were actively watching the storms over on Max Velocity's channel because earlier yesterday evening there was very severe weather. It seemed to calm down, but then suddenly ramped right back up a couple hours later. But then suddenly all the radars went down. Let me know what you guys think. Was that super highly suspicious? Is that just kind of okay, something happened? Or is it more nefarious? Is it something that the government doesn't want us to know about? That they didn't want us to see the radars? I know some of you guys have concerns about what they're doing with weather modification, all that kind of stuff like that. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Observationalist Dave says, Eastern Maryland. The General Assembly finished this week, and they are including the largest wave of tax increases on everyday citizens in the history of the state due to budget shortfalls. So the answer to budget shortfalls is not cutting, but rather let's tax more. Yeah, it's you can't help these people because they don't understand the basic premise that if you tax people more people leave, and tax revenue actually has a tendency to go down. Ronald Reagan, when he cut taxes, everyone's like, you're wasting so much money. And yet, turns out that Reagan's tax cuts actually brought in more tax revenue than ever before, which is just like, it seems counterintuitive, but the lower you lower tax rates, the more incentivized people are to make money, and it ends up being more money actually comes in overall. 3 years ago, under the previous administration, they had a surplus that the Democratic majority refused to vote to refund to taxpayers, but now they're turning around and raising all the taxes like crazy. With the economy the way it is now, I mean, people aren't making money, people can't make ends meet, so they're probably not going to be paying all that many taxes. That's just the way things work, isn't it? Mikey says Lowe's was closed on Easter. When I drove by, I noticed they had pallets of plywood blocking the front doors to prevent someone from ramming through the doors and breaking in and raiding the store. This is the first time I had seen anything like this in Merced, California. So, yeah, you got to blockade things now. They have door locks. They have ways of locking doors. They also have people that could stay and watch the stuff, or they could pile pallets in front of the doors so that people can't get in. Absolutely crazy. Kim USA says Port Huron and Lexington area, Michigan. For a few months, I have been going to dollar stores for my cheap crossword puzzles, and they have been just completely out of them. They have the word search puzzle books, but no crossword puzzles. I told my assistant, and she couldn't believe it, so she tried out the local Dollar General. Yep, no crossword puzzles books. It might seem stupid, but to us crossword junkies, it's a big thing. First, there is no crossword books, and then there is chaos. You guys, I truly do worry that if you guys don't have something better to do, you might just plot world domination. That's why we keep giving you guys crossword puzzles, is just to keep you busy, to keep you from doing anything too dramatic, right? It's the small things that start snowballing. Yep, absolutely. That's what we talk about on this channel. It's the little things. I mean, is it the end of the world necessarily if this or that is in shortage? No, not necessarily, but it may have an impact on you or I, right? And that's why we talk about these things. And I appreciate you guys letting us know what's going on out there, so we can stay ahead of things, so we can stay more informed. Coffee Guy says, I don't go to big box stores so much anymore, but Southwest Washington, Walmart, every section was shrunk to very small proportions. Bigger aisles, smaller amount of stuff, right? The aisles were twice as wide. I couldn't even find a salt shaker. Canned fruit, I got half a case of peaches and the other half pears and some mandarin oranges. I bought all that they had. When you go to buy canned fruit and you're buying everything they have, that just is, it was a very scary eye-opener. Really made me realize how much trouble we have to look forward to. Friends, the chessboard is being set up. And if you don't like the way the chessboard looks, it's because you're not going to like how the game is going to go. The whole deck is being stacked against us. Everything is set up in such a way that it's going to take away our ability to feed our families and to take care of people we care about. I mean, it's clear as day if you just look for it. Selah says, a family member who is an EMT, they pick up the homeless and those on welfare every day. They need a ride, they will go to the hospital and walk out to go wherever they want. Or if it's cold or raining, the homeless camp out in the ER. It's all free for them. Not free for us, is it? Who here's been to the EMT? Who's been to the emergency room? Who has? It's expensive, isn't it? Who's had to ride in an ambulance? We're seeing how expensive that is. But it's cheap. It's free even if you're undocumented. That's the system that we have today, friends, and it is so warped and twisted and just doesn't look anything like the way it should be. True Blue says, because I work in the racing industry, I talk to a lot of insiders. Today I talked to a collision repair shop, and we were discussing all the hail damage he's currently working on in his area of Missouri. I asked him why insurance companies were totaling cars that weren't really totaled. He said that once those cars go to salvage auctions, they're being bought up by foreigners and being shipped overseas. Because the vehicles aren't totaled, the insurance companies are actually making money on these totaled vehicles because these foreign buyers are paying for only slightly damaged but repairable vehicles. And the buyers are actually paying premium prices. He said it actually has very little to do with the cost of parts and labor and more to do with the insurance companies basically running a racket. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. And yet it is. Who here believes that? It's really just the insurance companies scamming us yet again. Yep. Tanya says, our bank, USAA, has started putting a hold on any checks we deposit for a week. They lock it up for a whole week. It's very inconvenient, especially since USAA doesn't have any freestanding banks. It's only online. I do have a local bank I can just cash checks at, but sometimes you need to deposit checks into a certain account to pay a bill. Now we have to wait a whole week to get our money. I asked them not to do this, and they said that there's no way to change this. I've been with USAA for 25 years. They also just doubled our home insurance, which raises our mortgage $272 a month. That's how much they raised the insurance. It's hard, right? I mean, what do you do? They have us over a barrel. They're just like, we're just not going to give you your money. That's called theft. That's what it is. Let's not parse words. It's theft. When you take somebody's money, I mean, what would happen if I went into your bank account and I took your money and I said, oh no, I'm just going to hold on to it for a week. I'll give it back to you after a week. That'd be called theft. I would go to jail, but a bank can do it. It's infuriating. Kathy says, I went to Dollar General store yesterday and some of the shelves had cleaning supplies were empty, and paper towels and paper plates. Dollar Tree is probably going to go out of business. We're probably going to talk about that a little more tomorrow. But Dollar Tree is in serious trouble. Dollar General's not so much, but they might be headed the same way. Who knows? Terry says, urgent, Steve. I just received a letter from our bank, South State of Florida. They were, on February 7th, they were compromised, and our name, account number, and social security number were stolen. Name, account number, and social security number. And this was a month and a half ago, or 2 months ago now. 2 months ago. And they're finally being informed. We've been naked since February 7th, 2024. I mean, obviously you need to get a new bank account number, right? And they should provide that to you immediately. But the fact is that that they didn't inform them of this for months. Friends, you need to be checking your accounts. Make sure things don't go squirrely, because if they do, you need to be on top of that. Montana Mama says, I got a can of sweet potatoes from Walmart. It had one piece of potato. The rest was water. I thought it was a fluke. Guess not. Yeah, we're talking about that here with the empty cans out there. All right, friends, thanks for joining with us. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what they can do with your retirement accounts, there's a link right there. You just sign up and they'll send you a packet of information. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.